Hello, I hope you're there. I wonder if you've thought of keeping a diary of what's going on in your life during these strange times we're going through. When one day you've got children, nieces and nephews, grandchildren even, they'll be so interested to hear what you got up to. It's hundreds and hundreds of years since anything happened like this, right back to the time when we had the bubonic plague or the Black Death, and people were told to stay at home even then, stay at home and keep away from everyone. The last time all our churches were closed was as long as 800 years ago. Even I'm not allowed to go into our own St Mary's Church. It's locked up. And who knows what we'll find in there when at last we're allowed back in. We know there are bats in there. One of the bats have entirely taken over and we've got to go and build another church. Let's hope it won't come to that. We heard yesterday about Jesus coming into Jerusalem on a donkey. As soon as he got there, he went straight to the temple, which was the place where God lived, the place where heaven and earth came together. He found it was in an awful mess. People buying and selling things, making a huge profit out of changing money. As far as he was concerned, the temple was his father's house, and he decided to do something about it. Here's the story from the Bible. After the excitement of the day before, when he'd come into Jerusalem on a donkey and the crowds had followed him, waving palm branches and throwing their cloaks on the grounds in front of him, Jesus decided he needed some quiet time. So he came through the temple, expecting to find a place where he could sit and enjoy a quiet, gentle breeze and the splashing of water from the fountains. That's my pheasant. But as soon as he passed through the gates, it was as if all hell had broken loose. It was full of people selling animals and birds, great crates of doves falling around, cows mooing, sheep bleating away, goats seeing if they could climb up the side of the building, and people sitting at tables, changing money and making vast profits out of the poor men and women who had just come to pray and make their offerings. Jesus was furious. He found a length of rope on the ground and he twisted it into a whip, and in a furious rage he jumped right into the middle of them. "This is my Father's house," he shouted, "but you're turning it into a den of thieves." He drove them all out, every one of them. He turned over the tables of the money changers. He scattered their money on the floor and they rushed after the coins as they rolled along the paving stones. He threw over the seats of the women who were selling doves. It was pandemonium. And then he saw more people coming in, carrying jars and baskets and carrying all kinds of loads into the temple. And he dashed at them with his whip and he drove them back too. And he shouted again to the crowd who'd gathered, "Hear this and remember what I say. God's house is a place of prayer for the whole world. People come from all over to meet God here. But you have made it a den of thieves." The authorities were watching at a safe distance. "This is enough," they said. "We've got him now. We just need to find a way of catching him somewhere private, where there won't be any crowd to stop him, and then we'll take hold of him and put him to death." Of all the things that Jesus did, this was probably the one that made the Romans decide to do something. If Jesus was trying to be the man in charge in Jerusalem, that was a big threat to the governor and to the emperor. So it was now they decided to act. I'm going to say a prayer now. If you'd like to make it your own, join in saying Amen at the end. Dear God, your Son entered Jerusalem and caused havoc in the temple because people were not respecting the values that protected the nation and preserved peace. Keep the door of your house open to us, so that even if our buildings are closed, for the time being we can come together in spirit and know that we are always your beloved children, forever and ever. Amen. Enjoy the sunshine. Keep your eyes on the moon. Keep well. Keep safe. May God be with you.